up, we have Nanayao. He's coming all the way from Toronto, Brampton. He's going to give us a small testimony and a spoken word. Can I get a hand for him, please?
Welcome everybody, glad to see you all here.
Switch to the side, I'll get on live
As you heard, my name is Nanayao. I'm going to just be sharing a quick testimony and, one spoken word poem with you guys. But, I feel, my testimony, I vow that, every opportunity I get, I will tell it to whoever I can. And this is why I believe. Pretty much I was born with sickle cell anemia, if any of you guys have heard of it. And needless to say, it's something that's affected me my whole life. Constant hospitalizations, things like that. And it came to a point in time in which, it was taking over my life to the point that, mentally, I felt like, my life was just going to end anytime. And as time went on, this feeling of death, grew stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And, I couldn't explain it. And needless to say, at that time, I wasn't serious with my life in Christ. So till one day, there was a pastor who, knowing, the sickness that I had, he, came to me and he said, I want to get rid of this, this for good. And so he called my dad over and he was like, told my dad to drive fast for me for 3 days in order to preserve my life. Now, that was a task given to my father pretty much the day after I had just got released out of the hospital because of complications with the sickle cell. Now, pretty much after he had decided that to my father, Monday came, and then the early Tuesday morning, I was in the hospital again. I just got released like 2 days ago. And by far, it wasn't the worst of all, crises that I experienced. It was the worst experience that I ever had. I was in the most pain. Didn't sleep for 7 days straight. Still on morphine, enough morphine, 20 milligrams. Anybody, any nurses? No, I was just looking it up, and it was something equivalent to 3 times the amount they give pregnant when giving birth. And it still wasn't enough to satisfy my pain. But the day that my dad started fasting, right? I found out after all the events, but the day that my dad started fasting, in the second week, was, the day I started recovering. And this is after I had, taken, 4 bags of blood over the course of 3 days, and my blood hemoglobin level was still dropping. To ask a doctor, what's going on with my body, and the doctor's like, I'm very concerned. Obviously, you can't tell me, oh, you're gonna die. But the Wednesday came was the day that my dad started fasting and my recovery. Thursday came, my recovery even better. Friday came, and my recovery was even better. And the Saturday morning when I woke up, it's like as if I didn't belong in a hospital. And glory to God for that. It was a very, emotional time for myself, especially, with that feeling of death, I had hovering over me, for all those years prior. Especially with the fact that, I felt like, this was it, and, I can only thank God because of it, and it's something that I always remember, even though I'm not perfect, I understand that, at the end of the day, we never will be, but it's something we strive, right? And that's something I encourage all of you guys to do, and for anybody who's in here who, is experiencing something similar to what I have, just know that there's hope. And for the things you can control, control. For the things that you cannot, pray about it and leave it to God.